Hi everyone, I'm Jerry.
And I'm Sarah.
And we were just sent this 30 by 13 by 9 foot high cage that you can use for sporting events.
So our son loves baseball and he loves running around doing all the sports. And this is going to be awesome to hold in that ball so he can hit it and it doesn't go clear out into the yard. It doesn't hit a neighbor's house. This is going to be great. It does take 2 people to set up. So we're going to get this put up. We've got an area right here in our yard that's a little bit shaded. We're going to put this up. Now the net is huge. I'm so excited to get this put up, so let's get to work.
Inside the box, you do get your spikes that are going to use to hold this in place. You also have any of your poles that you're going to need to assemble to get this put together. And then it does have, of course, the giant net that is going to be used around the outside edge.
So the first step is to grab the blue tabs and then we're going to spread the net out. That just indicates the edges of the tent.
Okay, now that we've got this laid out, we've got the opening where we want it. The next step is going to be to assemble some of these little bracing pieces here. Now these are kind of like tent poles, so they're going to be held together and kind of snap together with that elastic, but you're going to need to separate them out because we're going to have to put them in. Now there are 4 of these that you'll have to get put together, and those are going to create the arches that are going to go over the top of this thing. So there'll be 4 of them that are even length, and those are going to have to be fed through these blue tabs that are on here.
So now I'm just sliding these poles on each one of the blue tabs. We're just going to slide this all the way through and then just make sure that these poles don't come apart as we're sliding it through.
This helps to have 2 people. One person can feed it through one end, the other one can grab it from the other end. And once you get it through, you're going to take that piece and you're going to slide it through the end of that pin, kind of like you would if you're putting together a camping tent. And so we're going to do that on both ends. And then just go ahead and leave it laying down. And then whenever we pull up the ends, it'll extend itself back out. Once you get all 4 of those pinned in, you're going to have it looking like a stop sign, kind of like an octagon. Everything's going to be flat on the ground. Now what we're going to need to do is work on go ahead and getting these pulled up, and it should pull everything up into shape. Okay, once we've gotten the actual structure kind of up where we want it to be, we're going to continue to use these metal U's, little metal stakes, and we're going to go ahead and put those in each spot and kind of stretch it out. Then we're going to readjust and tighten these ends because these can be adjusted to pull it taut. So right now we're going to take these and kind of starting in the middle on either side, we're going to go around and place these in. Okay, we've got the doorway now. This is going to hold on the other end, and it's got little toggles on the end of this that will, there's a flush bottom that has no toggles. It's going to go on the bottom. And at the very bottom down here, there are little areas for these toggles to insert. So we're going to start at one of those and insert these toggles in here. We've gone ahead and attached those thicker straps across the bottom of this. That kind of adds the structural support to keep these middle pieces from flaying out. Then after we made one final calibration to the sides to make sure that they were level, you're going to use these remaining thin pieces with the S-hooks on the back to attach into the corners. This will provide a lot of wind resistance if you're going to get a lot of wind. And we're just going to give those some taunt area there and run them at a diagonal on all 4 corners and on the sides so that way this thing has a little more stability. Now that we've got this thing fully erect, I'd like to offer you a few pro tips that we found that helped us along the way. 1, use 2 people like us. It made this a lot easier. If you're doing this by yourself, you can do it, but it is a lot more difficult. It would be a lot easier if you had more than 1 person. Second thing is, when attaching this door, it's best to do it while it's laying down. Those toggles will go in a lot easier. We didn't do that. We went ahead and brought out a ladder to do that, which you could certainly do. It just would have been easier to leave it laying down. At the same time, before you hammer in those stakes and make your final adjustments, go ahead and install the 2 included thick straps across the bottom middle. That will make sure that you're pulling them out at the correct distance. We had to go back and readjust later. Not a difficult task, but it will save you some time. And last of all, once you get this up and running, it will go up easier the second time because once this doorway is installed, when you collapse it back down, you can go ahead and leave that door on there so that way you won't have to feed all those toggles through in future installations.
Now I'm going to get my son out here and we are going to play some baseball.
Now whenever you're outside, you don't have to worry about going to shag those balls from 3 yards away. You can simply put them up, hit the balls, and enjoy your afternoon.
Or if you wanted to play other games, you could get out a soccer ball, play kick back and forth. Here, put that down. And then if you miss, the other person can easily get it from behind them, and you don't have to run around, which is fantastic. This is a really nice case because it is windproof. You can leave it outside, and with the stakes on here, it keeps it all in place. It would be easy to take down over the winter if you need to take it down and store it, and just put it right back up. I love this net. I don't have to go get the ball.